So, përshëndetje të gjithëve, unë jam Elsoni, we'll start with the lesson now. Jam Elsoni, jam nga Shqipëria, banoj në Gjermani dhe kam gati 11 vite që ofroj këto mësime falas në YouTube. So, I'm Elson, I'm from Albania, I'm living in Germany, and I've been offering these free group lessons for almost 11 years now. I'm currently offering them once a month. Mostly it's the first Sunday of the month. But the next one will be in October, not on the first Sunday, it will be on the 13th of October. So you can write it down somewhere. 13th of October will be the next free lesson. You're welcome to join there. We always use the same link for the lessons, and that one will be in the description box of this video. And the next lesson will be about the optative mood. So we'll talk about verbs next time. In case you don't know what optative mood is how to express wishes and curses in Albanian. So we'll learn some curse words, right? So that one will be in the next lesson. We'll start with the introduction. Lenson, përshëndetje, në Shqip ose në Anglisht, nga je dhe pse dëshiron të mësosh Shqip? So mund të prezantohesh, can you introduce yourself?
Përshëndetje, që kanë Lenson, unë jam nga Tajvani, jetoj edhe këtu. Unë jam 32 vjeç, dua të mësoj Shqip sepse më pëlqen Shqipëria.
Shqipëria. Do you remember when was the first time you joined the lesson? Was it like 10 years ago as well or something? No, a bit later.
Maybe not 10 years, but let's say maybe 8 or 9 for sure.
8 or 9 years. Okay, thank you for joining again. Yes, and then we have Pauline. Përshëndetje Pauline, kjo është hera jote e parë këtu. This is your first time here. Would you like to introduce yourself, English or Albanian or Russian, however you like?
Okay. I'll try to do that in Albanian.
Perfect.
So, përshëndetje gjithëve. Unë quhem Pauline. Jam nga Rusia. Mësoj Shqip sepse më pëlqejnë shumë muzika dhe futbolli.
Më pëlqen muzika dhe futbolli. Yeah? And you said përshëndetje të gjithëve with an article in front. I'll type it të gjithëve. That one. And më pëlqen. There are two things that you like, but still it's considered as one each. So më pëlqen muzika dhe futbolli. Here?
Okay.
Okay. What else? Anything else?
Yes, but that's all, I guess.
Yeah. That's all in Albanian. We say kaq. Here, you can simply say kaq. That's all. Cili është këngëtari yt I preferuar shqiptar?
Këngëtari im I preferuar shqiptar është shqiptari I Kosovës, Ylli Limani.
Limani, shumë mirë. Ylli Limani. Okay, thank you for joining here. We also have Molly. Përshëndetje Molly. Hello Molly. Would you like to introduce yourself? Where are you from and why do you learn Albanian?
Përshëndetje. Unë jam Molly. Jam 30 vjeç. No, sorry. Yeah. Jam 30 vjeç. Jam ingleze. Mësoj Shqip sepse më pëlqen mësoj gjuhët.
Gjuhë të huaja. Foreign languages. Gjuhë të huaja. Më pëlqen të mësoj gjuhë të huaja. Okay, shumë mirë. So ti flet anglisht? You speak English? Any other languages?
Spanish.
Spanisht?
Italiano.
Italisht?
Italisht.
Huh?
And a little bit of Dutch.
Okay, shumë mirë. Dhe pak Shqip and a bit of Albanian. Pak Shqip.
No, Dutch. Netherlands.
Dutch. Hollandisht.
Hollandisht.
Hollandisht. A flet Gjermanisht? And German?
No, that's all.
That's all. Okay, mirë. Okay, thank you for joining. So this lesson will be recorded and published on YouTube. For those who cannot join the lesson, you can also watch it from there. I would appreciate it if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel in order not to miss any of the future lessons. So let me start with a screen share. Today's lesson is for beginners. There will be lots of vocabulary. I'll make it as easy as possible for you to understand. It's something that if you are native in English, it's some of these grammar points that I will mention today are many of them do not exist in English, so as grammar points. I'll make it as easy as possible for you to understand them. In case you have any questions, you can interrupt me anytime. Yes, let's continue. So we'll talk about adjectives today. In the last 2 or 3 lessons, we talked about the plural of nouns. We are doing now the last topic about the plural of adjectives. The reason is because first we need to know the nouns in Albanian in plural and then the adjectives, because that's a word order, a noun and then the adjective, not like in English the other way around. So we learned the plural of adjectives. We'll talk about types of adjectives that we have in Albanian. We have done, so this is the 6th lesson about adjectives. So you can also take a look, watch the other videos I've done about them. We'll talk about the different types of adjectives, and then at the end we'll do some exercises. For those who don't know what an adjective is, are nouns that are used to describe, are words that are used to describe a noun or a pronoun, right, to describe them. And in Albanian language, there are 2 types of adjectives, with an article and without. So an article is a letter, or maybe a 2 words letter that is put in front of the adjective. It does not have a translation, but it has a very important grammatical function. So there are 2 types of adjectives. That's something you should keep in mind. So the topic is a plural of adjectives. Let's go to slide number 3. We'll start first with a plural of adjectives that do not have an article. And as an example, I've taken here krenar, which means proud. How to build, so proud, that is singular and it's masculine. And any adjective without an article, just put an a at the end, and that's a feminine one. So that also means proud, but it's a feminine version. So Spanish has the same, Italian, right? Depends on masculine or feminine. The adjective will be different. Krenar, singular, krenare, also singular, just feminine. So how about the plural? The plural is, and this rule is for, I would say, 80% of the adjectives without an article. The rule is simply put an at the end to build the plural. That is not pronounced, it's silent at the end, but when you spell it, when you write it out, it's important. And how about feminine? Feminine stays the same. Check out here, has an a at the end, also in plural. So the difference is this is feminine plural. And the previous one, plural, the previous one is singular. Okay? And the previous one on top there, that is masculine plural. So adjectives without an article, the majority of them just put an at the end for masculine and a at the end for feminine. Here we have another adjective, intelligent, like in English, intelligent. To the left are the singular forms, masculine and feminine. And how do we build a plural? The same way, you simply add an at the end for plural masculine and an a for plural feminine. Molly, any questions? Do you understand it? Paulina, Al?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's the singular?
Ask me again, please.
What would the singular be? How come it's just...
Can you type your question? I cannot hear you. It's disconnecting.
Yes.
Can you type out your question, please? Okay, so the same rule. Paulina, do you understand it? Lenson?
Yeah. But is it only for nominative, like you're like the one?
Okay, so that's a good point. Adjectives without an article, they don't have a case. It's the same in all the cases.
Okay.
Sure, me.
Yeah. So what do you mean why it's plural? I mean, we are learning the plural of, so Molly, you wrote, why is it only plural? To the left are the singular. We are learning how to change adjectives to plural. To the left are all singular. Now they are plural, right? Proud father, proud fathers in plural, right? To the right side. Okay, so adjectives without an article, they don't have a case. We will check it out later. I have a table in the following slides. Those with cases, those are the complicated ones. Mir, let's go to the next slide, number 4. So the same rule, just like we mentioned, we'll follow these adjectives here. I will translate them for you. All nationalities, so there's only one exception. I wrote it somewhere here. Let me see. Here, Turk. So except that one, Turkish. The rest, nationalities, they will follow the same rule. So Shqiptar, that's one Albanian man. So it's a singular one. Shqiptare, that's one Albanian woman. Now the plural, you add an at the end. So that's now Albanian man in plural. And the feminine stays the same in plural. So an a. The same rule will be for the rest of them. So Beçar means single, a single person, right? Someone who is not married. Binyak means twin, someone who is a twin. Yugor means southern, so as an adjective. Shochoror, southern, yes, that one. Shochoror, social. Malor, mountainous, so a mountainous area, mountainous city. Besnik, someone who is trustworthy. Trustful person. Buyar, someone who is generous. Tor, someone who is guilty. Pielor, productive. So we use it a lot for the soil. A soil which is productive, that means you can plant a lot. There should be an English word for it, but I'm not native in English. Pertați, lazy. So add an a at the end. So a is this letter, right? A, add an a at the end to make them feminine, and an to make them plural, but plural masculine. Okay, any questions there? So we are following the same rule like the previous slides. Okay, and to the right, so adjectives without an article are very common foreign adjectives that come from other languages, from foreign languages, such as, you can see these, I mean, you can easily understand them, even though that's the Albanian adoption for them. So interessant, interesting, private, public, economical, modern, city, active, passive, etc. Balkanic, from the Balkans, European, social, national, international, etc. So these are adjectives without an article, and that's how they build a plural. Palina, what is the plural masculine of modern?
Modern, with a silent
with at the end, Shumir. So that's the plural masculine. Takes an if it were feminine, with an a.
The same.
Okay. So it's any questions so far? Molly, Lenson?
Yo.
Here. Let's go to number 5. There are some adjectives that, so adjectives that end in s, they stay the same in plural and in singular, which means you do not need to add that at the end. So we said earlier, let's go back, you add an like krenare, but if an adjective ends in s with an s, then you don't need to add that at the end. They will stay exactly the same. So ushqyes, nutritious. Right? Ushqyes. So for example, me vlera with nutritious values. Nutritious values. Okay, vlera ushqyese. So vlera is feminine, that's why with an a at the end. Vlersues, valuable. Mikpritas, welcoming, hospitable. Then we have kamgulas, someone who is insisting, stubborn. Is it kamgulas, stubborn? Yes, kamgulas, stubborn. No idea how to spell that. Stubborn, I guess. Stubborn. Okay, let's see. Okay, diegas, chili or burning or chili. Thank you, Molina. Chili or burning. Diegas. For example, spets diegas. Spets diegas. Chili pepper. Here. Ose erza diekse. Like any herb which burns. Any type of herb. Njitas, any disease which is infectious, that infects you. Corona, for example. So, somundie njitse, infectious disease. Plural takes no at the end. Helmues, poisonous. Helmues. So most you can leave it out and you get the opposite meaning. Mirë njohës, mos mirë njohës. Grateful and ungrateful. Okay, someone who is grateful. Macedonas, that's a nationality, Macedonian person. Atsarues, someone who is annoying. Atsarues. So to change from masculine to feminine, that's easy. You simply put an E. And the plural, also easy because they stay the same, just like in singular. Okay, questions here? If you want, you can also make some sentences. You can write them down and read them out loud, however you like. Here. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So these adjectives, there are many other ones, but these are the ones I came up with. These adjectives also don't have an article. They're also regular, just they're the same in masculine and in feminine. This is their singular form. How about the plural? The plural, if they're feminine, they take an I at the end. For example, oh, let me translate them first. Face bardă, what's that in English? Face bardă, literally it means a white face, a white cheek. Let me translate it. I have no idea what's the English word for that. Face bardă. Honorable. Honorable. So face bardă. And zemermier, someone who has a good heart, a good-hearted person. Zemerger, someone with a wide heart, that's generous. Just like in the previous slide, we said one for generous. Generous. Duar strânguar, someone who has tight hands. That one, Molly, you are a native speaker in English. Someone who doesn't spend, what's the English word? Spend thrifty or something? Someone who doesn't easily give money away. Stingy, okay. Thank you. Tight-fisted, okay. So we say tight hands in Albanian. Then we have cruelard, is the same as from the previous slide, krenar, proud, someone who is proud. Okay, so these adjectives, as I said, in singular, they're the same, masculine, feminine, it doesn't matter. In plural, and in the feminine one, they take that E at the end will change to an A. Face bardă. Zemer mira. Zemer jura. Duar, you add an A. Duar strânguara. And cruelarta. Okay, you add an A at the end. So that's the feminine plural. We will do some exercises at the end. It will all make sense. Yes. Any questions here?
Do all adjectives like ending in takes a in plural?
I cannot think of any exceptions. So I would say yes, they do. They take a at the end in the feminine one. Mm-hmm. Yes. What else? Yeah. And then the last slide, these are irregular ones. So Turk is one Turkish man, Turke is one Turkish woman, and now in plural it becomes Turch with a Q, with a K, Q, Turch. And feminine is Turke, stays the same like in singular. Just masculine, that's the irregular form. And then the colors, these three are colors. Gris. Gris is the same, masculine, feminine, doesn't have a gender. Gris is also the same in plural, so you'll only find it as gris. The same for blue. It's not feminine, masculine, singular, plural. It's always the same form. The same for Leila, which is violet, purple. Also has the same form. So these three are the same in masculine, feminine, singular, plural. Okay? Here. So let's summarize it quickly. We have adjectives with and without an article, right? We just talked about the plural of adjectives with an article. The majority of them take simply an E at the end. That E is not pronounced, so the E with two dots. It's not pronounced, but when you spell it out, it's important. That's the first one. And feminine singular and feminine plural is the same. And this was a list of adjectives. And then here, adjectives that end in S, they stay the same. You don't add that E. You can also consider it as exceptions from the first rule we learned. And then the last one was these adjectives are many other ones. These adjectives take a at the end. So only the feminine one take an a, the masculine stays the same, just like face bard. Here, questions here? Molly? So that was the first part of the lesson with adjectives without an article. No questions. Palina?
Ja, van det.
Mir and Lanson.
Yo, from there.
So let's check out now adjectives with an article. Now it gets complicated. Now it's crazy complicated. If you're watching from YouTube, you can watch the previous lessons first. It will make sense. We did this table a few lessons ago. It's all the cases to the very left: nominative, accusative, dative, genitive, ablative, all the cases there. On top, it's definite, indefinite, singular, definite, indefinite, plural. And then the noun I've chosen here is lieber. And this is how the noun will change the form depending on the case, depending on the form, definite, indefinite, depending on the number, singular or plural. These are all the possible forms that a noun can take in Albanian. But this is a noun. What about an adjective? So let's use, I will fill in this table now, and you'll only have to learn it by heart. There is no reason behind it. You just learn this by heart. So we are talking about adjectives with an article now. Now let's check out what are these articles, and we'll learn also some other adjectives. Let's take the adjective for leer, cheap. So a cheap book, the cheap, etc. So nominative, let's start with there. Nie lieber, article is e. Nie lieber, emir. So we are in singular here. The first two columns are singular. A good book, nie lieber, emir. Here it is libri, emir. There, now in plural. Plural article is a t, libra, temir. Plural article is t, and it's plural indefinite. How about plural definite? Plural definite, the article is an a. When we talked about articles in general in the previous lessons, we said that a is typically for feminine adjectives, but check it out, we also have it in the plural. When the noun is definite, the article will be an a. It's not about gender, it's not about number, it's about the form. If it's definite plural, it will be an a. So that was nominative. These are the possible articles in nominative. Let's go to accusative. The article is a t. Again, there is no reason why you just learn this by heart. The article is an a. Here it is also a t. And here it is also an a. So a trick to learn this is that indefinites take t and definites take a. So temir there, temir also here. Emir there, emir also there. Let's go to dative. Dative is also, there's a trick to learn it. They're all t. The articles are all t. So it can be any other adjective, right? I took on only mir. So now why it's libra ve? Because that's how the noun changes. Change of all covered them in the previous lessons. Let's go to genitive. Genitive is a copy of dative, so also t. Right? Also t, and to the rest of them. And let's go to ablative. Ablative is a copy of dative, which is a copy of ablative of genitive of dative, so it's also a t. Again, there is no logic behind this. You just learn this by heart, but there are just some tricks that could help you memorize them. Dative, genitive, and ablative, they will be the same. Not only, also the nouns except sh here, which you never see it anywhere else, only there. But the rest is the same. The noun will be the same. The article will be the same. The adjectives will be the same for all those three cases. And nominative and accusative, then they change. Okay. Any questions?
I just found out you didn't mention like definite and indefinite when we were talking about adjective without article. So it means that it doesn't play any role if it's definite or indefinite.
They don't change. So the words you see there, it will be here. Yes, without article. You just put the word after the noun. Right? So they don't have an article. What should change there? The ending doesn't change. The ending changes if it's singular or plural, but that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What else? Okay. So the gender is important when it comes to adjectives without an article. The gender, is it masculine or feminine? Check out the change, you add an A. And the number, is it singular or plural? But the form, definite, indefinite, it doesn't matter. Also the case, it doesn't matter. So they are not affected by the case or the form of the noun. So these were masculine nouns. This was a masculine noun and a masculine adjective. Let's go to the feminine one. Feminine one, so I took the noun for lule, a flower. A flower can be, I need a short adjective so it fits here. A good flower. Okay, lule. Article is emir. Lulia, the article is also emir. Lule, if it's plural, it's a t. Now we go back to, where was the rule? Where was it? Here, number 6, slide number 6. So Lenson also asked us if it has an does it always change to a? I mean, I cannot think of an exception, so I would say yes, they all change to a. So mira, lule të mira, të bukura, të shtrenjta, të lira, etc. Article is an lulet e mira. Let's go to accusative. It's also a t, just like in the previous slide. Të mirë, lulen, emir, lule. Here I put mir again, mira. If it's plural with I at the end, lule të mira. And also there, lulet e mira. Let's go to dative. Të mirë, just like in the accusative one. Now, this article, you only see it here. I will highlight it in green. This new article, it's not a t, it's not an a, it's not an e. You will only see it there. It's a s. And then mir, luleve të mira, luleve të mira. In the previous slide, all these dative, genitive, ablative, singular, plural, definite, indefinite, they're always a t. Here they are also a t, just the definite one will have a s, not a t. Okay, të mirë. Here it is, a s. And there is a trick to memorize this, I'll let you know in a bit. Luleve, here it's plural, të mira. Also there, plural, të mira. Here is a të mirë. Lules, there's a s, samira, samir. And now we are in plural, të mira and luleve të mira. Now, how to use dative, genitive, ablative. We talked about this in the previous lesson, so check those ones out. Here, the point is to check out the articles of the adjectives and their endings. So how to memorize these three? Check out the noun before, I'll put it in blue. The noun before has an S, and always every noun, these are feminine nouns, every noun in dative, genitive, ablative, the definite form will have an S at the end. All the nouns. The same for masculine ones, they will always have a T at the end. So you can memorize it like this. If there is an S at the end, you will add another S as an article. So lules samir. The same for the rest, lules samir, lusamir. And if there is a T, librit, with a T, tamir. So that might be an easy way to memorize it.
How do you pronounce it when it's like lules samir?
Okay, now because we speak fast, you'll not hear it. But if you pronounce it slowly, lules samir, either a long s, lules samir, or lules samir. But when you speak normally or quickly, then you'll not hear it. The same for librit, librit mir. So the way I say it is librit mir, right? But there's another t, librit tamir. Okay. So let me summarize this one. There is in plural there, both sides. There is always an, oh, sorry, not luleve. Yes, yes, it's all right. To the plural, there is always an I at the end. Mira, mira, bukura. So as I said, any other adjective, cannot think of any exceptions, takes an I at the end. Molly, any questions? They all mean good flower, by the way. So they all mean the singular. All these 10 options, they all mean good flower. So, and this one mean good flowers. So in English, 2 words for those. In Albanian, as you can see, tons of options. Palina?
No, I guess no questions so far. I'm just thinking like if it's in any way similar to German declensions of, like, you know, when you have a noun and an adjective together, and then like it looks
So
like a bit similar, but I'm not sure.
Yes, absolutely. There are similarities. Yes, German adjectives also have a gender, so they must adapt it to the gender of the noun, right? So it is a similar concept like in German. In German, they don't have an article. In Albanian, we do. Yes. Okay, so the same rule, just like these two, masculine nouns and feminine nouns, the same rule will follow these adjectives that we have here.
And is it, I have a question, is it like nialula, niamir for accusative indefinite?
Oh, sorry, not nilu, niamir. Nilule, te. I meant the te there.
Okay.
Yes. Nilule, temir. Let me see here. Yes, te. What else? Okay.
No.
The same rule will follow these adjectives here. So if it's feminine plural, temira. If there is no o at the end, you just add an a. Te bukura, te lumtura, te gzuara, te trishtuara, te hapura, te mbyllura, te ritura, te etura. Yes, I guess all of them. Te gjata, te shkurtra, te ëmbla, te kripura, te ftohta, te zeta. Yes, all of them. Të shtrenjta. So if it's feminine plural, they take an a at the end, and you only see it there. An a at the end of an adjective, added extra, it's always there in the plural feminine. Yeah, and be careful with the articles then. E to a, and then the plural ones, the. Okay. If you're watching this video from YouTube and you want to join, check out the link at the very bottom of the slide. There's a link there to join. It's always the same link, and the next lesson will be on, I forgot it, 13th of October. We'll talk about the optative mood of verbs. We'll talk about how to wish something and how to curse someone. Let's go to these type of adjectives. They're very regular. What they have in common is that, so in masculine, they have an and in feminine, they have a me at the end. So what happens to this? Do you add an a? Oh, this is an exception. Do you add an a? No, they stay the same, just like the same form, just like in singular. So these in this slide are all singular, right? Their ending, you don't add an a to make them feminine. So ishisham, delicious, eshishme, that's feminine delicious. Just change the article then to plural. Tashisham would be masculine, tashishme would be feminine. So this type of adjectives, to me, you don't add an a at the end. Ransisham, important, ifuchisham, endryshme, nevojshme, and dieshme, someone who is sensitive. Diem tendiesham, sensitive boys, for example. Tendiesham with a t. Shandetsham, kanshme, mrekulueshme, zakonshme, sielshme, etc. So you don't add an a to the plural feminine. And there are some irregular adjectives, 6 of them, yeah. So, and some of them are also irregular in singular. Imad, big, imad, emade. That would be singular. In plural is mvein and mda. Mvein, mda. I put a t there, but check out the table. It could also be an a, right? The plural could also be an a if it's plural definite. Okay. Ikeche, keche, in plural, tăkcin, tăkcia. Iriere, tărin, tăreia. Let me translate them. Ikech, that's bad. Iri, that's new or young. Izi, that's black. Izi, ezes, tzin, tzeza. For example, su tzin, black eyes. Elig, that is evil. So in singular is ilig, elig with a for feminine, and in plural telig, teliga. So it's irregular. Ivogel, evogel, that's irregular in singular, but it's irregular in plural. Tevegel, tevogla. Okay, so the one to the very end, that's the feminine one, feminine plural. Mir. Now, before we start with the exercises, there's something else to point out. Now it's a bit confusing. Check out the definite plural. There's an a there. Let me create a new slide. Just a second. I'll take this one. Or 1 second. Wait. So here. I will take the, let me keep just one case, and the same will be for the rest of them. Wait. So let me remove this, delete rows. Okay, and check out only the plural, not the singular, the plural form. So librat emir and librat emir. Now, disa. Let me take another noun so it makes more sense as a sentence. Disa diem te ring some young boys po luain football. Okay, so let's say this is disa diem te ring. Let's take this one so it makes more sense with the sentence I had in mind. And diem te ring. Okay. So this is a nominative case, is the subject of the sentence. The article is a te because it's indefinite, right? Diem te ring. What if you were to say the young boys? So you take the other one. Diem te ring po luain football. The difference is just that one is definite, one is indefinite. Is it clear so far? Right? One is indefinite, the other one is definite. One has a te, because check out on the table, and one has an a. Now, if a word comes between the noun, so diemt, if a word comes between there and the adjective will change the article to te. It's very confusing, I know it doesn't make sense, but that's how it is. So let's go back again. Let me keep that sentence. Diemt erin, the young boys. Here is some young boys. What if there is a word that comes in between the noun and the adjective? What word? For example, the boys are young and they're playing football or something like that. The boys seem young, or any verb like that. So diemt jan or diemt duken or anything like that. So diemt jan, the adjective then will change the article, no longer an a, but it will be a te. So the boys are young. How to memorize this, or what's a trick to keep it in mind? Check out the last either letter or the last sound of diemt is a t. So you can memorize it like this. Don't put the article a t after the definite form. So instead of avoiding double t together, diemt te ring. So you can memorize it like that. The article will be an a. And this one works, so this one is valid only for nominative accusative and only for the definite plural. So there. If a word comes in between the noun and the adjective, the article is no longer an a, it's a te, which means I'll put a slash here and add a te. So it could also be a te. If a word comes in between, you will use a te. If there is no word in between, then an a. Okay. Questions?
It's only
I guess
for
we're just
plural.
like radical.
Definite, like masculine.
Also for feminine. The same for feminine nouns.
Okay.
The same here. So let me write it like a formula. So it's only valid for the plural. Not valid, what's the English word? Relevant. Plural. So this is only for the plural. If there is noun in the definite form, and then adjective, the article is always an a. But if there is a noun, so also definite, and then any other word, it can be a verb, so it's mostly a verb, yes. Let me write here. It's a verb, a noun, a verb, and then the adjective. That adjective will not be an a anymore, it will be a te. So check it out here. It's noun plus adjective directly. The article is an a. If it's noun plus a verb in the middle plus the adjective, then the article is a te. Because there are no longer two t's together. So you can memorize it like that. There are no longer two t's together. There is yan in between. So you can use a te now. But if yan weren't, then it will be an a. Okay, Palina, were you saying something?
Yeah, I just thought like, what if we have more than one adjective For instance,
yes.
these young boys are talented or something, or like young talented boys are playing football.
Yes. So if there are several adjectives after the noun, there is a word order. First, let me write an example. Let me see. Okay, this one. So there is a word order. Those with an article come first, and then and then plus those without an article. That is one rule. Qytet I madh modern, a big modern city, right? With an article comes first, and without comes at the end. So that's one rule. The other rule is try not to use more than 2 adjectives describing the same noun. If you need to do that, then connect them, either build 2 sentences or connect them with the end. But don't use more than 2 adjectives for the same noun. It would be better to create a new adjective. And other than that, there is no other rule, like about the size or of the adjective or nothing like that. So djal I zgjuar I talentuar, talented, smart boy. Yes. So you can also say that djal I talentuar is zgjuar, whichever you like. There is no word order there. But if there is with and without article, then there is a rule.
So we don't need to put the between Ijuar and I talentuar.
So you can say it like that, or you can put is you are the talentuar. You can use both. And djemt erin jan të talentuar. The young boys are talented. Talentuar. So the first one takes an A because it's right after the noun. The other one a t because there is a word in the middle. There are 2 words. Right? You can also use it like that, another option.
So if we change this sentence into djemt jan tërim
dhe
talentuar.
Shumë tërim dhe të talentuar. And you can also say e. So especially it's very typical, it's the same. It means also and. Especially for 2 adjectives after one after the other, you also use e. It means the same. The, a, whichever you like. Mir, let's do some exercises because there are several or some of them. Let's do this one first. Paulina, can you read it out, and then we'll translate it and talk about it. Mir, go ahead.
Okay. Shtëpia ndodhet në një lagje të qetë. Domat janë të ndriçuara dhe të pastra. Muret janë të bardha dhe të larta. Dritaret janë të mëdha, ja, stres.
Të mëdha, të mëdha.
Të mëdha dhe të reja, duke lejuar dritën e diellit të hyjë lirshëm. Mobiljet janë të rehatshme dhe të bukura, me ngjyra të ngrohta. Librat në rafte janë të shumtë dhe të rënditur mirë. Oborri përpara shtëpisë është I gjelbër dhe I gjerë me pemë të larta dhe të gjelbra. Në këtë shtëpi ata ndihen gjithmonë të qetë dhe të lumtur.
Mirë. So if you're watching from YouTube, you can pause this video because we are going to solve it now. Molly, can you try and identify some adjectives in plural? You can maybe try and speak. Maybe it will work with the microphone, or you can type it out. And let me translate some words. So ndodhet, to be located, to be found. Molly? I cannot hear you. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes. Can you try and identify some adjectives in plural?
Mobile. Oh no, sorry.
Which one?
Rehutchment.
Huh?
This one here.
Tandrichuara. So that's one, Tandrichuara. Lenson?
Rehutchment.
Rehutchment, correct. Lenson, which one?
Pastra.
The pastra, po?
The barda.
The barda.
The larta.
The larta, Shumir. Palina, some other ones?
Well, actually, yeah, I'm trying to identify them by, searching for the.
Yes.
Is that right, or like
So remember from the table.
Be something else.
Remember from the table that we also see it in the singular a lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So if you see the then check out, is there an I at the end? Then I would say 99% it's a plural noun. So tereia, tămza, also.
Tângrota.
Tângrota, Shumir, të bukura. Tângrota. So this is të shumt, it's masculine. If it were feminine, të shumta.
Të larta, të gjelbra.
Të gjelbra, të larta, Shumir. Të qetë, të lumtur. Okay, mirë. So, shtëpia ndodhet, the house is located në një lagje të qetë, in a quiet neighborhood. So how do you know, is this plural or singular? You can also check the article, is a neighborhood. So it's one. It's the accusative one. So if you see it from the table, it's the accusative indefinite. In a quiet neighborhood. The house is located in a quiet neighborhood. Dhomat janë të ndriçuara. The rooms are well lit, I guess in English, well lit. Dhe të pastra, and clean. So why these are with a at the end? Because dhomat is feminine. Të ndriçuara, të pastra, muret is feminine. Janë të bardha, they are white, të larta, they are high. High walls, tall walls, yeah. Tritarët janë të mëdha dhe të reja. The windows are big and new. Duke lejuar, this is a construction we haven't talked about it yet, but I have a lesson just for that. Allowing the sunlight to enter freely. So not an adjective, it's just the verb to enter, to get in. It's not an adjective. Mobiljet janë të rehatshme. The furnitures are comfortable. So no I at the end because it's that type of adjective. Me at the end. Të rehatshme, rëndësishme. Të rehatshme dhe të bukura. So mobiljet is feminine, that's why with an I at the end. Me ngjyra të ngrohta, with warm colors. Librat në rafte, the books on the shelves, are numerous, like big, many of them. Numerous, plenteous, numerous. No, I guess this is a word. Të renditur mirë. What's the English word for that? Well ordered. I guess well ordered. To put them in the correct order. Të renditur mirë. Obori përpara shtëpisë, the yard in front of the house. So there is a lot of vocabulary. Just check out the adjectives here. The article in front, the I at the end. So that's the most important one here. The yard is green, I gjelbër dhe I gjerë, wide. If it were plural, të gjerë, të gjëra, feminine. Me pemë të larta, with tall trees or high trees, tall. Të gjelbra, we forgot one, të gjelbra, with green trees. In this house, ata ndihen gjithmonë të qetë. In this house, they always feel calm and happy. Yeah. Any questions? It could also be about other grammar topics, not only about the adjectives. So this one was accusative. That's why I did not highlight it. Një lagje të qetë, it's accusative. And të hy, that's just the verb, to enter, to get in. It's called subjunctive mood. So like not always.
The last two adjectives we have in the last sentence, are they definite or indefinite?
Which one?
Të qet dhe të lumtur.
So the article, the noun can be definite or indefinite. The article, no, not definite, indefinite. The article changes depending if it's definite or indefinite. So ata is just they. It's not a noun. It could be, let's say, Burat, the man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Burat.
So we should like consider ata as definite. Or indefinite.
I mean, it's a pronoun. It doesn't matter if it's definite or indefinite, but also it's not relevant here because also there are words in the middle. If there weren't,
okay.
how would you say they calm as well?
So it's like it's the same usage as ata jam të qet dhe të lumtur.
Ata janë të qetë dhe të lumtur. Yes. So ata ndihen, to feel or to seem, ata duken. So it can be any word in the middle. But even if the word isn't in the middle, it wouldn't make sense. So they calm. It's not a noun, right? Mm-hmm. Burat. If Burat were there, then we can talk about the rule. Burat yan, a word in the middle. Yes, it's just the pronoun. Mm-hmm. Theater. Any other? The yard. Any other new words? Leersham. Hur leersham? Freely. 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 The light can enter freely. Duke lejuar, allowing the sunlight to enter freely. Here, okay. So a general rule, there is an very common in the plural feminine. Let's check out the other exercise. Let's change these sentences or these phrases, these words, group of nouns, words, whatever, in plural. Now this is a bit complicated. Okay, botim iri. One should know the plural of the noun as well, of course. I will do this one quickly because it's a complicated one. The plural of botim is botime, and the nouns are indefinite. Botime te reja. That's the plural. New publications. Mësimi lehtë, an easy lesson. Plural is mësime të lehta. Nouns that change gender, very common in Albanian. Makina shtrenjtë, an expensive car. Makina të shtrenjta, in plural, takes an a. Hotel 10 katësh. 10th floor hotel. Let's say 10th floor hotels. Hotele 10 katëshe with a at the end. Breg shkombor, a rocky shore. The plural of breg is brigje. We talked about plural of nouns. You can check it out in the previous lesson. Brigje, it changes gender. Shkombore takes an a at the end. There are nouns that change gender in Albanian. Baba shembulor, exemplary father. The plural of baba is babalar. It's an adjective without an article, takes an for the plural. Shembulor. If brige were masculine, then it would also be an there. Here. The same for the atkache. Steg in gusht, a tight, what's the English word? The road in the trail. A very narrow trail. Plural of steg is stige. Stige të ngushta changes gender, just like brigje. Breg, brigje. Steg, stige. Dit e ftohtë dimri, a cold winter day. Dit stays the same in plural. Dit të ftohta dimri, cold winter days. Here. Let's check out the rest. PM frutore, fruit tree, a tree that produces fruit tree. Një PM, dy PM stays the same. Frutore also stays the same. We said there are adjectives that stay the same in plural. There are also nouns that stay the same in plural. So the same one can be both. Njeri I kujdesshëm, a careful person. Një njeri, dy njerëz. Njerëz, that's the plural. Të kujdesshëm. Such adjectives, they stay the same in plural. You just change the article. Pyll mbrojtur, a protected forest. The plural of pyll is pyje. I also chose irregular nouns. Yeah, just to make it more complicated. I don't know what I was thinking. Pyje të mbrojtura. That's the plural. Pyje changes gender. It's masculine in singular. It's feminine in plural. Prindirept, a strict parent. Prinder, drept, strict parents. Okay. Chmim is the same like msim. Chmimi ulet, a low price. Chmime të ulta. Ulta. Të ulta, low prices. Pyetje vështirë, a difficult questions. Nouns that end in a are the same in plural. Pyetje të vështira, it's feminine. An old shirt, këmish e vjetër. Këmish, not shëmish. Këmish, plural të vjetra. I vjetër të vjetra, libër, libra, motor, motra. Check out. Is dropped. Vjetër, vjetra. Just like with nouns. Mirë, shirëmbyer, a very, what's the English word for the rain? It's not harsh rain. What's that? Very...
Like pouring rain.
Pouring rain, yes. So very, it's pouring rain. Okay. Shirëmbyer, the plural of she is shira. Shira të rëmbyer. So in Albanian, it's used a lot in the plural rains. Air e fort, a strong wind. Erëra të forta, strong wings. Fëmijë për tac, a lazy child. Një fëmijë, dy fëmijë says the same in plural. Fëmijë për tac takes an in plural, just like shembullor. Sëmundje e rënd, a heavy disease, a bad disease, a serious disease. Një sëmundje, nouns that end in a are the same in plural. Sëmundje të rënda. Where did we see it? Të shtrenjta, të lehta. Mësuese e rrept, a strict female teacher. Mësuese të rrepta. Takes an A. An unforgettable experience. So those with me, they stay the same form. Një përvojë, dy përvoja. Përvoja të paharrueshme. Unforgettable experiences. Këshill shëndetësore, medical advice. Plural, këshilla mjekësore. Sorry, I said mjekësore, shëndetësore. And then it's këshilla shëndetësore, healthy advice, not medical, healthy advice. Këpucë cilësore, high quality shoes. Një këpucë, dy këpucë stays the same in plural. Këpucë cilësore also stays the same. Gjarë për helmues, poisonous snake. The plural of jarper is jarpering. Adjectives that end in s stay the same in plural, helmues. Okay, so pay attention to the plural, not the nouns, because that's a topic I did a long time ago, a few lessons ago, how to build a plural of nouns. But what we did do today is a plural of adjectives. So të lehta, të shtrenjta. If it ends in s, we said it stays the same, etc. So this exercise summarizes the rules we talked about. Here. Any questions? Is there something you want me to repeat again?
Do all masculine.
So Molly, how difficult did you find it?
Quite hard because I've already been studying verbs previously, so I was just mostly listening today. Okay.
So the grammar is. I mean, you can, from experience, from teaching many students, I have noticed that at the beginning it's very, very difficult, but once you do some reading and exercising, then it will come out like naturally, especially with the plural of adjectives. The plural of nouns is even more complicated. It's quite irregular. There are many rules to keep in mind, but the plural of adjectives is then easier. We talked about the table here, this one. This one might seem very overwhelming. I've done a lesson about each one of them. I took them in separate, nominative, accusative, dative, how to use each one of them in singular and in plural. Take a look at that one. It would be very helpful. Paulina?
Yeah, so can you please show the last slide with the exercise? So we have a few collocations here, like hotel, this one. So why is there no article in between the noun and the adjective?
Because we have adjectives with and without article.
Okay.
Right? So at the beginning of the lesson, we said there are two types of adjectives, with and without. You just learn them by heart. Which one will take article, which one will not. So Vietkache doesn't take, Shkambora doesn't take, Shambulor doesn't take. Yeah, these that you see without an article are just adjectives that don't take one. Instead, we make changes at the end. So you add an e if it's feminine. You add the with 2 dots if it's plural masculine. Right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this in green, I'll put them in green. Are just adjectives that do not require an article. Around, I would say 70 to 80% of the adjectives do require an article. I would say 70% they do require an article. The rest, they don't take an article. It's just, you just memorize them. Yeah. Other questions? Here. So as I said, the next lesson will be in October 13th. We'll talk about the optative mood. It will be the same link, and we'll hope to see you there. In case you enjoyed this lesson, you can click like, you can subscribe in order not to miss the future lessons, and I hope to see you in the next one. Faleminderit, spasiba. Thank you.
Faleminderit.
Faleminderit shumë.
Ska problem. Ciao.
Miropafshim.